Source Force Podcast. The Source Force Podcast. The Source Force Podcast. The Source Force Podcast.
The Source Force.
Gordon S. Hindson, welcome to the Source Force Podcast.
Hiya,
it's a
thank
pleasure
you.
to have you on today.
Oh, lovely, thank you.
You've got a lot going on. You run the Acting Hub,
Yeah.
and you sport an artist yourself.
Yeah.
But where did it all begin for you?
Where it all began? It actually all began in this pub.
Really?
Yeah, about 13 years ago.
Wow.
I was actually owned this pub, and I was working behind the bar, and a friend of mine came in, and we got chatting as you do, and I said to him, I would like a bit of a sideline, and he said, why don't you become an extra like what I do? I says, well, what do you do as an extra? Oh, he said, great, you turn up, you get paid, you get 3 meals a day, and you go home. I thought, and you sit around all day. I thought, oh wow, that sounds a great job, perfect job that. I said, what do I do? He said, right, ring this number, it's an agent from Newcastle, and they'll take it on the books. So I rang them. It was a company called JPM, General Plater Management. And I went to Newcastle, they took me photograph, they said, yeah, Gordon, we'll take you on. Oh, great. So I came back home, and I never heard nothing for a couple of weeks until one morning I got up, and I had a lie in that morning. I think it was about 9:30 I got up. 10 o'clock, the phone rang. Gordon, can you be down Leeds for 11 o'clock? I said, well, it's 10 o'clock now. I'm not even dressed. Wait, get as quick as you can. So quickly dressed, got in the car, got to Leeds. And I never forgot, I went to the place where you have to go for a fitting first.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And it was for Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norell. It was a television programme with Eddie Marsan. And I went in, and I all remember there was 2 old people sitting, a man and wife, and they said to me, have you come for a fitting, like? They were dead abrupt, they weren't like, you know. And I said, yeah, why? Ah, you come to be an extra. I said, yeah. He said, not a very glamorous life, you know. And I thought, wait, can't be that bad. Yeah. You get well paid, you get 3 meals a day, you're sitting around. Sounds like a perfect job to me. Anyhow, I never forget them words. Never forget what, because I went in and got me fitting. And 2 weeks later, I got the phone call. You've got to be in Bamborough for 6 o'clock in the morning in February. Oh. I thought, 6 o'clock in the morning, God, I'm going to have to leave at 4 o'clock. Yeah. It's an hour and a half, you know. I remember getting up and getting in the car, cleaning the frost off. It was freezing. Oh. And I got to Bamborough, and we went in this school where everybody was getting ready. And I was playing a fisherman. So I'd have the tightest wetsuit on you've ever... Oh my God, it took us half an hour to get it on. It was so tight. Oh. So we put the wetsuit on, then we put the old-fashioned 18th century fishing gear, because I had to be in the sea. And I'm not being funny, it was the worst day of my life. Yeah. I was in the sea in February in Bamborough for 10 hours.
No way.
Honestly.
You don't expect that neither. You just think sat in a coffee table when someone says an extra.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I remember turning up, and the first person I bumped into was the actor called Eddie Marsan. And he's a great actor. And I'd been to the pictures the night before, and he was actually on the pictures in Jack the Giant Killer. And he was the very first actor I met on the set. And anyhow, at the end of 10 hours, I was so cold, I could have cried. It really was the worst day. And one of the guys, the producers, had said to me, have you enjoyed your first day? I says, no, I bloody hated it. And I says, I'm not coming back.
Yes.
That's it, finished. It wasn't a glamorous, and it made me realise just the actors were the same. They were freezing, and they had to do their lines, you know. And I thought, this is not a glamorous life. So a few weeks later, I thought to myself, no, I'm doing this no more. Anyhow, I got another phone call. Gordon, can you go up Northumberland to do Film Vera?
Yeah.
So I went up there, and touch wood, it was a lovely sunny day. And it made me want to do it more and more. And I thought, but I would say I probably had more cold days than one of my nice warm days.
Oh no.
Yeah. I was out 6 weeks ago in Hexham, and it was hoying down the rain. It was awful, and we were out in the rain, and they were still filming. And I spent 10 hours, and I thought to myself, do you know, you're 72-year-old, why are you doing this? Why are you putting yourself through this?
Why do you do? Is it just you love it that much?
I don't know. I mean, I've made a lot of friends over the 13 years I've been doing it. I don't turn up now to think who's the actors. I mean, Douglas Henshaw was the actor on that one. He's a Scottish actor.
Yeah.
And he's very good. And he's such a smashing guy. But you meet so many nice friends.
Yeah.
And so when I turn up on set, I just look for the friends I've met and how are you doing? Are you all right? Everything okay? Then we'll say, who's the actor on this one? Oh, it's such and such, you know.
Yeah.
All right, that's nice, you know. So, yeah, and that's how I got into it. Then I just went from drama school and started doing a little bit of acting work. And then last year I wanted to do something different. The year before, I did Adolescence with Stephen Graham for a week. Then I did I Fought the Law. Then the Caravan commercial. Then I did Gandhi, which was an Indian film. And The Feud with, is it Jill Halfpenny, and Larry Lamb.
Wow.
So I had a great year that year. And I thought, it ain't going to get better than this. Maybe take your hand at something else. So I decided to write a kid's book.
That is amazing. And we'll come on to that in more
Okay,
detail.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Later on, because it is just so amazing the thing that you're doing, everything with that. But growing up through your childhood, did you always have that sort of creative musical streak? Or was it something that developed?
Right, this is the Black Line pub, and it's been around a long time. And I've known the Black Line pub since the 60s.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you a story. And people might listen to this and think, is he telling the truth or is he not? When I was 8-year-old, I lived in a place just a couple of miles down the road from here called Bradbury. My dad was a farmer. And every morning when you were 8-year-old, you had to walk a mile to school. You know, you had no transport in them days. To get to school, you had to walk. And it was about a mile. So you imagine nowadays sending your child, 8-year-old, a mile to walk to school on their own. It wouldn't happen.
No.
But them days it did. And your mum stopped at home, like your mums did in them days, 1962. They stayed at home and they did all the baking and they would meet with their friends. The girls would get together, have a cigarette, a cup of tea, a bit of what they baked. That was their life, you know, and it was lovely life. Yeah. It was a lovely life. And it had been 63. So I remember coming home and my mum used to have the record player and you'd put all these records on and she loved Cliff Richard, Buddy Holly, Frank Ifield. And I used to love listening to the records, Elvis Presley. And I remember coming home and saying to my mum, I want a guitar. I want a guitar. And she said, well, tell you what, we'll go and get a little guitar. So when the Saturday came, we'd jump on the bus and we'd go to Sedgefield, which is just outside here, the bus stand. Yeah. And we get the bus stand to Stockton. Now in the 60s, Stockton was brilliant. It was just one big, massive market. All the shops were open. And we went into a shop called Leslie Brown's. A lot of the older people will know what I mean. It was a 3-story, records down the bottom, trains and toys up the top.
Oh, yeah.
Massive toy shop. And she bought me this little guitar. And every time you got a guitar in them days, and again, a lot of the older people will know what I'm talking about, you got a Burt Whedon How to Play a Guitar book.
Oh, okay.
Right? Not like YouTube nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
And it was always Burt Whedon. I don't know why, because he was the big guitarist. And that book, you'd read the book on how to play the guitar. So anyhow, I used to play this little guitar, a few little things, and it's a bit of a story, this one, I'll tell you, whether you believe it or not. My dad used to take us every Saturday, every month, once a month, every Saturday, to get our hair cut in Slasher Shaw's barber. You call him Slasher Shaw, because in them days you only had clippers, nothing like you have now. And everybody that went in, he would cut your ear. And you knew when the kids had been to Slasher Shaw because they'd have a plaster on their ear. Right? That's the honest truth. And a lot, like I say, people who've done Sedge for a long time will know Slasher Shaw. He used to have the fag in his gob and he'd talk, you know, and he'd clip your hair and like that. And but then my dad would take us out and bring us in here for a drink. But in them days, you had the smoking area, the ladies' men's area, you had little different areas. And I used to always bring my guitar with me, right? And I would sit in the bar while the lads were, my dad would have these John Smiths and they all smoked, everybody smoked. Yeah. And I would play my guitar. And this one day, those 4 guys from Liverpool came in. And I didn't know it was the Beatles.
Oh, wow.
And one of them heard me play the guitar, and he come over, and he says, "I like that tune, what you're playing." And I said, "It's just what I picked up. I only know 2-3 chords. I want that," he says. And he said, "How much do you want for it?" And it was a song called "She Loves You."
No.
Right?
Wow.
Right? So, and if I said, "Oh, wait, it's just a song. I didn't know. I was only 9-year-old, for Christ's sake, 1963. So he said, "I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll buy your dad a pint of John Smith's, and I'll buy you a bag of crisps and a glass of Coke." And I said, "Yeah." And I give him the song. Because I had it written down.
Yeah.
I had not all the words. They did do a little bit, and they went out. And that night they played at Stockton Apollo.
Yes.
In 1963. And they played in the Stockton Apollo, and they actually stopped in there, and they heard me play the guitar, and they took my song and played it.
Wow, that is amazing.
Whether you believe that or not, what I'm telling you.
I'm just gutted that you only got a bag of crisps and a bottle of Coke.
Them days, you know, I mean, they walked in, and they actually played the year after, 1964. And the day they played was the day that JFK got assassinated in America.
Yes.
And they didn't want to play as a mark of respect, but there was that many young children outside the Apollo. They had to play. So that's how I learned to play the guitar. So
that is amazing. And then have you just kept up with it ever since? Just something that's...
No, because I always loved football. Football was I lived for football.
Yeah.
You know, every minute I got, I was outside with a football. Yeah. And obviously when I moved to Fishburn, then I went to Fishburn school. They played football. At Bradbury, there was only 20 people in the school. So they didn't do football there. But I grew up with the Bobby Charltons and the George Bests and the Pellets, you know, the great footballers. So
was that the kind of dream job growing up?
That was what I wanted to do. Every minute I got, I was outside with a football. So I just kept that going. Then obviously when I had trials for Chelsea, I was a Chelsea schoolboy. Wow. Derby County, Middlesbrough, and then nothing ever became of me being a footballer. I did a bit of Northern League. Yeah. Then I became a nurse.
Wow, that is a change and a half, that, isn't it? How did you go about that?
Being a nurse?
Yeah.
When I was 16 and I got released by Chelsea and things didn't quite happen with Derby and Middlesbrough, I played a bit in Northern League, and my dad said, "Look, you're going to need a job." And I said, "I only know football, Dad. I've got no qualifications." And he said, "Right." He said, "Winterton Hospital, it would just be a big a mental hospital asylum. It was a big, massive concern." He said, "My friend's a nursing officer up there called Ginger Anderson." He said, "Go and see him and he'll give you a job." All right. So I walked up and I walked in his office, and Ginger Anderson was a very small bloke, ginger hair, fag in his gob, and his mouth, sorry, not gob, that's common. So he had a fag in his gob, and he says, "You Tommy's lad," because Tommy was my dad.
Yeah.
I says, "Yeah." "Play football, don't you?" I says, "Yeah." "Play for the hospital football team and I'll take you on as a cadet nurse, start Monday." I says, "Okay, sounds good."
Yeah.
So that's how I became a cadet nurse at Winterton.
That's brilliant. And how long did you stay there for?
I did my cadet training. I did 2 years as a student nurse.
Yeah.
Then, and then I left to go to a factory.
Yeah.
I worked in a factory. Only because of the money. You know, nursing in the 70s, 1972, 73 was very poor.
Yeah.
I was on £14 a week. Wow. You know, so to go somewhere where you were getting £35 a week was a lot of money, and you didn't have to work weekends. So when all my mates were going night clubbing, I was stuck in a hospital, you know, and they were all going out, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm losing out on my childhood at 18, 19, 20, you know, you need to go out night clubbing and pubbing.
No, definitely.
And so to get a job in a factory where I'm only working 5 days was great, you know.
Yeah.
Big mistake though, because I wish I had stuck at nursing.
Do you?
Only mistake which I wish I could have changed in my life.
Yeah.
I wish I could have stuck at nursing.
Yeah. I think it's such an important role as well, isn't it? Not just for the people that you're helping, but yourself as well.
Yeah.
It is.
I met some lovely people down there, even patients. It was good. I wish I'd stuck at nursing, but I've got to change.
Yeah. So all the patients that you've met, and now you've met Stephen Graham, Sheridan Smith, Piers Brosnan.
I know.
What have you learned from them sort of people?
just how nice they are.
Oh, really?
You know, because they have a job. They have a job to do. You know, so when I go on the set, you know, when I met such as, I don't know, Dame Judi Dench, you know, I love her. She's only a little tiny. And we did Queen Victoria, and I was her footman.
Yeah.
But everybody just runs round after her. She's just so well respected. And I think when I did the other podcast, one of the lads said, if she was the Queen, I could quite accept that.
Yes.
Because people just love her.
Definitely.
And I just thought, oh my God, you know, you are so important. You have all these people run after you. I find every actor is the same. I find that the older actors, they're just not as, how do I put it, as nervous as a lot of the younger ones.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, some of the young actors are very good. Jenna Coleman from Queen Victoria.
Yes.
I loved working with her. She's a lovely little actress.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't think I've picked up anything from them, because all I pick up is it's not a nice life. It looks nice when they get the red carpet
Yes.
and they got these awards. But on the day, I remember turning up for Victoria, and it was really raining. It was a horrible, foggy morning. And I turned up, and it was Peter Bowles, it was, on the set. And I used to watch him on the television all the time on To the Manor Born with Penelope Keith. And he come out, and he was just on his own, and he was walking in the rain, and I'm thinking, it's not like a footballer's life where you can just go and train for an hour and do that. You're there for 10 hours and you're in the freezing cold. Don't get me wrong, you know, if you're inside. When I did Sheridan Smith, I thought the law was in the courts.
Yes.
So she had quite an easy job, but I'm sure Sheridan would have been on set where it hasn't been as good. Stephen Graham, it was a red hot week. It was you know, he bought everybody ice creams to keep us all
Yeah.
He was something special.
Yeah.
He
And
really-
he's getting so many awards, and you only
He
get
deserves
awards
them.
if you are that sort of person.
He
don't you?
deserves every award he gets, because he got us. I remember going on set, because sometimes on set you do get a little bit different, you know, but that's only been expected.
Yeah.
But on his set, he got the whole set together, and he said, there's no prima donnas on this set. He said, we're all working class people, and he said everybody will be treated the same.
Wow.
And true to his word, everybody, and it was probably the best set I've ever been on, the Adolescence set.
Wow.
It was really...
That was,
really
and it
good.
was all filmed in one shot as well, wasn't it? Like
That's why I wanted it perfect. You weren't
Yeah.
allowed phones.
Yeah.
You weren't allowed anything, because if anything went wrong, you had to start from the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
So what you did, you filmed one scene on the morning and one scene on the night.
Oh, okay.
And over the 5 days, we rehearsed for 2 days, then we did it for 5 days. They picked the best scene, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
So if anything went wrong, there was one day on the afternoon shot, the lights went off. So we all had to start from the house again. Because if you watch Adolescence, it all starts from the house.
Yes.
And so we had to go back to the house again and
wow.
start from there. And but we met some great friends on that set, and it was just a lovely set. It was like one big happy family.
That is brilliant. And I think for ones that are not so happy family, I think everyone's in competition a little bit on in some circumstances. How do you think you stand out from the competition, or is it just kind of one of them?
It's hard. Everybody thinks anybody can be an extra or an SA now. We call ourselves support artists,
Yeah.
but they can't. There's thousands apply for these jobs. Same as an actor. You know, I must apply for, let me say, I apply for 400 jobs a year.
Yeah.
And if I get 2 replies, that's a good year.
Yeah. Wow.
That's as an actor. As an SA, you know, there's thousands in for SA work. So if you get chosen to be an SA, your face must fit.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people say because you're getting older and things like that. I just lie about my age anyhow.
Yeah. I'm 6'4" and 30.
I know my wife says, you're not 5'8". Says, I am. You're not. But they don't know that.
Exactly.
And so you just have to tell a few fibs. But they know by profile photographs. You know, you've got to have your photographs, and you've got to have what you can do and your experience. But they all know how experienced I am now, because I've been on so many sets now. So they know how I, you know, because you have got to, you've got to respect the set you're on.
Yeah.
You know, you don't go running up to actors and asking for selfies, or that. If they come up to you and say, you know, I remember working with, I forgot his bloody name now. He's on The Holiday.
Okay.
Rufus Sewell.
Right, yes.
And Rufus Sewell, he's a cracker. And I remember I did Queen Victoria, and I was sitting next to him in the he was the Conservatives and Labour's over there type of thing. We were arguing. And I was sitting next to him, and he was telling me about him and his wife had split up and how they were still good friends, and lovely guy, you know, great actor. And I remember going in on the night, and my wife was watching The Holiday, and he's in The Holiday. And I said, "Here, I've just been sitting next to him all day." She said, "Get away, you haven't." I said, "I have. I've been sitting next to him all day. He's been telling me how him and his wife have parted, but they're still good friends." And they get. She said, "You lie." And anyhow, when Queen Victoria came out, here I was, sat next to Rufus Sewell. Didn't I tell you?
That is brilliant. No, I love that.
Didn't I tell you?
I absolutely
I know.
love that. But you're not only a support artist, you're also a personal trainer as well. How do you fit it all in, and where did that begin?
Well, I opened a gym at Fishburn years ago. I've always done exercise. I've always done it. If anybody hears this now, will say, he's a lazy personal trainer, because I like to tell them what to do now. I don't do it with them. And I opened a gym at Fishburn called Gymsters, Health and Fitness Suite.
Yeah.
When I closed that down, I wanted to try something different, but I still kept the PTs up. So when I closed Gymsters down, I bought this place.
Wow.
But one of these little units down here was my little PT studio, where people would come and I would still train them. Then when this went, a friend of mine who opened the nice gym down at him, Phil, he asked me if I'd go down and do some spinning, but I still kept me boot camps up round here.
Yes.
And things like that. Obviously, COVID did kill a lot, you know.
Yeah.
So.
And I've got to say that you are the toughest PT from experience. Your classes are the hardest I've
thank you
ever
for
done.
that.
No.
Thank you for that. I'm a bit softer now. I'm a bit softer.
Maybe I might come back.
Do you know what? I like to do it now more as a social.
Yes.
So when I go down at him, we like to talk, and we like to be friends now. So I'll say, right, you can do the hard work with the other PTs, but with me, we socialise.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're going on a walk on Sunday, and we're going up Rosebery Top. And so once a month, I try and keep them all together, just for the mental health and things like that.
That's it, isn't it? Like the friendships that you make and stuff is
You've
so
got
important.
to. Mental health is so important nowadays, and I just try my best to keep, even with the kids, to get when I did the acting hub, I got Libby Walker, a girl called Libby Walker, who was on Coronation Street.
Wow.
And she run the acting hub along with Michael Jukes and along with Natalie, who was the other coach. And the acting hub was really good. The kids all made a film called Alfie's Dream last year.
Yes.
On YouTube, and you've got to get the kids off the street the best way you can.
Absolutely. So, did you found that acting hub, or did you go in?
No, I found it. The only thing is with the acting hub, I spend a fortune out of my own pocket because we don't get funding.
No,
they don't give funding for performing arts. It's so difficult, you know.
Yeah.
And you think you've got 20 odd kids that are coming twice a week off the streets for 2 hours with professional coaches. You know, I put them forward for jobs. I put them forward for agents. 2 of them are on Spotlight, which is very good, you know. But there's just no funding. Fishburn Council, I must say, were very good. They did give me a cheque last year to help out, and it was welcome, you know, because it got to the stage where I was running raffles, I was having race nights on just to raise money to pay for the kids.
It's so difficult because on one hand you see, knife crime statistics are going up, but then there's nothing to stop it and counter.
For kids. Not a lot.
Absolutely.
And, you know, there's just no funding for performing arts, and it's so sad in a way.
Yeah.
But
no. So you wrote the screenplay Alfie's Dream and made it into a book now.
We wrote it as a book, and I have a friend called Dean Midas, and he got me involved in a film a couple of years ago. Sawyer Hicks, it's a horror.
Okay.
He loves horrors. Dean's a big horror fan.
Oh, wow.
Wes Craven is his hero. He's the one that wrote Freddy, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, yeah.
Things like that. So Dean is a big horror fan. And he asked me if I'd go in his film. And I said, yeah. And you know, it was a great experience. So I said to Dean, look, I want to make a kids film. So you're going to have to step outside of your box because you're used to doing horror films. I said, now you're going to have to be involved with about 50 kids. And he loved it, and I've got to say he did an absolutely amazing job of Alfie's Dream. It was better than what I thought it would be.
Wow.
So now, that was Alfie and the zombie footballers. The next one is the werewolf school teachers.
Oh, that's brilliant. That is so good.
We have the second book coming out, and hopefully get that filmed this year.
And is it the children from the acting hub that are involved in that as well?
Acting hub plus kids from all over.
Oh wow, yeah.
You know, some kids go to the theatre down Billingham.
Yes.
And some go to other different acting ones that I've just advertised, and the kids have come forward. I've got about 15 to 20 from the acting hub. But there's other kids from all over came over, and they all had their little roles, so they saw themselves on the YouTube, and we got about over 5,000 hits, 6,000, and that's not with the Facebook hits and things like that. So I was quite happy. It was really good.
Wow.
Looking forward to the next one, actually.
That's it, isn't it? Once you start one, you're just like, oh.
Well, I want to do 10.
Yes.
I want to try, but it's hard work writing books.
Oh, I can definitely imagine, and trying to tailor them to kids and use their language so they can read them.
I know.
It's quite difficult, isn't it?
We just did a play. The kids did a play for a few weeks ago. It was called Cold Faces, and in that play, there was a couple of things that we had to change. We had to take the F word out because we couldn't swear.
Yeah.
And back in the 70s, if you wanted a sweet, we'd say, do you want some Kets?
Yes.
Kids nowadays think Ket's a drug.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it was so funny.
If you go to the Asda over at Hartlepool, that's what they have in the top of the aisle, actually.
Have they?
Yeah, Ket's aisle. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So we had to take that word out.
Yes.
So there's a couple of things, because it was adults but kids acting in this one, called Faces. It was very good, actually. It was produced by Andrew, who is based on his true life.
Oh, okay.
And
wow.
we got a group from London came up. We got the choir from Sedgefield. And it was superb. It was really good.
That is amazing. So how did that kind of come about you've worked on other people's stories and then creating one of your own?
It's I quite enjoyed directing Alfie's Dream.
Yeah.
So I only had a tiny part. So the rest was directing it with Dean.
Oh, wow.
So it was really good. But there's things happened when it was going. That we got a bus driver, Chris Greason, from Greason's Coaches. And I said, Chris, I need a coach, And he turned up in this bus, and he never charged me a penny. Well, he did. I bought him fish and chips.
Yeah.
And when he turned up in this coach, Chris is about 70 my age, but he's got this long hair.
Yeah.
And I said, right, get him dressed up as a zombie. So we got him dressed up as a zombie bus driver, and he looked amazing. I don't know if you've ever seen Alfie's Dream on YouTube.
That is brilliant. I'm going to have to watch it now.
Got to watch it.
Good.
It is class.
Oh, that is brilliant. And what do you kind of see when you are directing, sort of outside looking in?
You see different. It's totally different, because you see what the ADs have to put up, because when the ADs are on the set, they'll say, we need you there. We need you there, we need you there. But when you're directing yourself, you know what the ADs have to do.
Yes.
So I'll say to Dean, I think we'll have them coming out of there, or right, while they're doing that, we want them in the background type of thing. And
it's so difficult to try and see the end result as you're doing it, isn't it? And what do you see in the next generation of performers? Is there a certain sort of motivation?
We need more working class
yes.
performers. I think there's not enough. There's only 8% of actors are working class.
Wow.
So like Eddie Marsan, I think in an interview last week I was watching, he was picking up on that, and he said we do need a lot more working class actors.
Yeah.
But it's a difficult business.
No,
it is the most hardest business. You've got lots of agents. It's getting the right agent that can put you forward. So if you think on Adolescence, the young Bradley who played the young lad,
yes,
that was a lovely break for him, and it was lovely to see.
Because he didn't have too much acting experience beforehand, didn't he?
No, he was the only boy at the acting school.
Oh, was he? Oh,
they were all girls. He was the only boy.
And now when he's up winning all these awards,
he's winning them awards. And my little granddaughter, she's 10, and she's is it Bradley Cooper? No, it's not Bradley somebody. Can't believe you met Bradley.
Owen Cooper.
Owen
Cooper. Yes.
Granddad, can't believe you met Owen Cooper. But he wasn't known then.
Yes.
To me, the actor that stood out on Adolescence was actually the little girl.
Yeah.
The daughter.
Yeah.
I thought she was superb. But I only saw the first scene. I didn't know what went on because I wasn't part of the other scenes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
So I only was there from the house to the police station. and that was only my scene, you see.
Yeah.
But when I did, but he's such a superb guy. But with even Piers Brosnan, you know, what a lovely guy he was, just over the moon.
I think sometimes you have this sort of preconception that, they're really important and they're too busy and stuff, but it's not until you actually meet them face to face that you find out how someone is.
Some of them, you know, we end the day, like I said, I don't go on set to meet actors.
No,
They've got their job to do.
Yeah.
They've got to learn lines. They've got to learn all the moves. They've got to learn all the lip. You know, I go on set to meet friends I've made and I met some great friends. You know, nice. I think one of the nicest ones was Diana Rigg.
Yeah.
And I love Diana Rigg because I grew up with her in the 60s.
Oh,
Do you ever grow up with somebody?
Yes.
Then if they pass away, they die, you think, that's part of my family gone, even though you've never met them. And she used to be like in the Avengers and things like that. So when tellies were black and white, I used to watch Diana Rigg.
Yeah.
But then she was the old woman off Games of Thrones. I don't know if you ever watched Games of Thrones.
I haven't.
Have you not?
I need to set a bit aside and watch it.
So I'm standing on Victoria and it's freezing, and I mean freezing. And little Jenna was keep forgetting the lines. So she had to go from the top again. Then she'd get her, learn the lines, right, put them back, okay, then she'd forget again. And all actors forget the lines.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, Jenna, hurry on, I'm bloody frozen here. Then this old lady with a walking stick just come up behind me and she said, "Bah, it's cold, isn't it?" I looked around, I said, "All right for you, you've got a green room you can go into where it's nice and warm, I'm out here all day." And it was Diana Rigg.
Wow.
Right? And I love Diana Rigg. And she just started laughing. And I said, "You know, I think I've grew up with you. I've never met you, but I grew up with you because I used to watch all your programmes in the 60s and 70s, you know." And we had a bit chat. Anyhow, when we went for our dinners, obviously she goes for a dinner elsewhere, the young kids, "Hey, you've been talking that old woman off Games of Thrones." I said, "To you, she's an old woman. But to me, she's Diana Rigg."
Yeah.
You know, she's off the Avengers. I forgot what you call her on the Avengers now. And so anyhow, they Googled Diana Rigg, the Avengers, and they thought, oh my God, she was this gorgeous woman with long black hair, leather gear on a motorbike.
Yeah.
That's her. I said, that's her. Emma, was it Emma Pale? Emma Pale, you call her.
Oh, yeah.
In the Avengers.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, so in the 60s, you kids watch Games of Thrones. We used to watch the Avengers, and she was in the Avengers.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Anyhow, she was in All Creatures Great and Small. Then she passed away.
Yeah.
Which was, you know, but I just feel like you just grew up with her.
No, they say, don't they, never meet your heroes, but their point proven differently there.
I know,
Definitely.
so nice.
So over your career in lots of different industries and different things, what's been the biggest challenges that you've faced?
I think my biggest challenges are still to come.
Yeah.
I think they're still to come. I just, you know, I just don't think of retirement. I just like to keep myself busy. And I've got an understanding wife that understands that, you know, me sitting in the house just isn't for me.
Yeah.
So if I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to drive down Manchester or Liverpool, I think I had a challenge, maybe it was a month ago. I've got an agent from London and she rang me up and she wanted me to go to Bulgaria, Sofia, to do an advert. And she said, come down to London for a week, then go to Sofia for a week. And the thought of me going to London just petrifies me.
Yeah.
And I turned it down. And she said, the money's unreal, Gordon. I said, I know, but listen, in the 70s, when I was younger, I would think nothing of driving to London. But now it's a totally different place. And I said, me going to London just frightens me. And then I've got to go to Sofia for a week, Bulgaria. I said, every time I go abroad, I follow my wife for the suitcases.
Yeah.
She does everything. I wouldn't even know where to go.
No, definitely.
And I don't think she was very happy, but there's not a lot I could do about that.
No, exactly. You've got to do what's right for you, don't you?
It was a lot of money, though.
Yeah.
I wish I had done it now.
Oh, really?
I wish I had done it now.
Oh, is there anything in the future that you haven't done yet that you're like, oh, I really want to do that?
Well, I wonder if I can play for Nottingham Forest, a 72-year-old.
maybe.
I don't think, why not? I can give it a try.
Record breaker.
No, I think that year, 2 years ago, when I did Adolescence, I did Gandhi, I did. I fought the law. I just felt that is the tip of the iceberg. You've done everything. I don't particularly want to be an actor.
Yeah.
Sounds daft. I quite enjoy being the SA. If there's an acting job comes up, I will take it. And I'm on Spotlight, and I've got credits on Spotlight. I think I've got about 3 IBMD credits.
Yeah.
And I think my goal was to do this book, An Alfie's Dream. So this year, I'll probably do more back on set again.
Yeah.
I'll get back into it.
No,
so last year I had a year. I did a Sam Fender video in February.
Yes.
And I thought, right, you need to take one foot out the box and do something different. And last year I did it. I did the book. I've never even read a book in my life.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I wrote one.
That's brilliant. And it's just so inspiring for younger kids to read different stories.
Yeah, so we need to try.
Is.
I think if I've got maybe one goal, it's to take the acting hub maybe another level.
Yeah.
And that I'll have a word with the coaches and see where we can take that from and see if we can get them some funding to help the kids.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely.
By the time you pay for headshots and body shots and you pay subscription to Spotlight and things like that, it's expensive business.
Absolutely.
Expensive business.
Absolutely. So if there's somebody listening to this that's kind of in school, leaving school, or they want to become a support artist, what kind of advice would you give them to kind of get out there?
Go for it. I got a message from Peter from Casting Collective last night. Gordon, I want some kids 18 to 30 for the new Adrian Mole, what the filming down Hartlepool. So I got in touch with all my kids and I said, right, get applied for that, go on set and enjoy it, and make the most of it. And if you want to become an actor, go to an acting school or a drama school, and then go from there, and start applying for jobs. And just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it, and to the older ones, just get in touch with a few agents, get your headshots. Make sure your headshots are updated every 6 months. Get your DBSs, because a lot of them now on set, you want to have a DBS. Make sure that's up to date. And get some show reels if you want to be an actor. Get a camera in front of you, like what we're doing now. Yeah. And just get a couple of show reels.
No, that's absolutely brilliant. Yeah. And we'll end with our final question that we always ask. And it's, if you could go back and have a conversation with your younger self, what advice would you give?
Oh, God. If I'd have advice to my younger self, I don't know. Probably concentrate on one thing. Do you know, when I say people that's gone through the craze, like my wife, my wife's a legend. Yeah. She's an absolute legend. She worked 49 years in A&E as a nurse. Oh, wow. Right? And she'll say to me, yeah, but you're going out as a PT, you sometimes help out in the pub here, you're back on the television sets, it's dead interesting. I said, you save lives. Yeah. You save kids' lives. You've saved adult lives. And what can be more important than what you do? Yeah.
We've been joined by a little pooch.
He is, so I would probably, I sometimes think, should I have just stuck to being a nurse all my life? Or, look at you. Oh, wow. It'd just as well be at the end. My important time, and I get... How good is this? Yeah, so I don't know. And like I said, I think from me and my wife, if you think, because I sort of met my wife when I played in a group. I played in a band, you see.
Yeah.
And I played at Easington Colliery Club in a group back in the 70s, and she came walking past the stage and she said, can you play Blown Free by Wishbone Ash? And I said, yeah, I'll play it for you. And that's how me and my wife met.
Oh, really?
Yeah, back in 1974, so you're looking 52 years ago.
Wow. It's funny how the sort of creative aspects brought you to where you are.
We've been together. I probably, she puts up with a lot, I'll be honest with you, but because I'll say, right, I'm going up Rosebery Topping this week and I'm going along, what are you doing that for? You must be mad. I said, I am mad, I'm mad. Yeah. And that's what I do, and but she puts up with it.
Oh, thank you so much for your time and sharing your story, Gordon.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been brilliant. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you as well.
The Source Force.